Proclaim God's greatness. I have something to share that my pastor shared this morning that really just jumped out at me in a big way. Psalm 105:1 says this: Give thanks to the Lord and proclaim his greatness. Let the whole world know what he has done. Then my pastor began to talk about us being in the presence of greatness. What would you consider like maybe a famous pastor, a famous rock group, Elvis Presley? Like, in my generation, if I would have seen Elvis Presley in person, maybe you would see a certain band and you'd be in their presence and you just probably just like, I can't believe that I'm seeing them. What if they shook your hand? What if they actually sat down and had lunch with you? You would probably be beside yourself. Not only would you be taking a lot of pictures and a lot of selfies with this group, with this person, you would be posting it all over social media. Look where I was today. Look who I spent time with today. Look who shook my hand. And then my pastor began to think, not think, but turn the table and say, those people, they're just people. They might be great for right now, but their greatness fades as the time goes on. Their greatness fades. They get old, they die. Sometimes their music still, hangs on in people's lives and people's hearts, but new generation comes up, new bands and new preachers. Their greatness fades away. But whose greatness never fades away? It's God's. God's greatness never fades away. Look at Psalm 113, 4 and 5. For the Lord is high above the nations. His glory is higher than the heavens. Who can be compared with the Lord our God? Who is enthroned on high? That really shook me. Because yes, I do proclaim his greatness because I share my walk. But I don't think I realized the extent of his greatness. He actually does sit down and spend time with me. Yes, it's all in my mind, but he's a spirit. He lives inside of me. He talks with me. He walks with me. Sometimes I see myself sitting on his lap or him holding me. His greatness will never go away. Children of God, proclaim his greatness, because God's greatness will never fade away. Walk with him, talk with him, and tell others about your walk. Tell others about your conversation. Tell others how he helped you, how good he was, how he brought you to the other side of this particular problem you had, how he saved your child. And yes, I know a lot of you have stories where he didn't. Does that make him less great? He does everything for a reason. Everything is for a reason. And think about this. Life on earth is but a vapor. What is 70 to 90 years compared to eternity? If he needs you to do some suffering or go through some suffering that he didn't cause, the enemy did, but he looks at that suffering and said, I can use that for good. I could save someone because of that. What is that little bit of suffering compared to eternity with him? Children of God, let's proclaim God's greatness on social media, to our neighbors, to our friends. Let's talk about him all day long, because for our God is great.